I would say that in the past there's been an antagonism between private industry and the government, basically because private industry felt that nobody was listening. Nobody cared about their concerns.
All of us in the private sector looked at CEDA with a jaundiced eye. We felt it was another bureaucratic idea that wasn't working. It was obviously trying to solve the unemployment problem by putting the unemployed in a public sector job.
In the last few years, the move has been to cut down on the amount of public service employment monies, increase it to training people for the private sector. If 5 out of 6 jobs are in the private sector, let's train them for the private sector.
It seems to me by involving the private sector that CEDA is coming up with a concept of new management for its program and saying, here, private sector, you manage this program. You tell us what you need.
The Private Sector Initiative Program is a program, a CEDA program, that is set up to have the funds administered by private industry, by a private industry council, to be spent to train people for private sector jobs.
Private industry has been projecting their needs for as long as I've been in the labor market, and that is a lot of years. And the government is now taking advantage of what private industry has done. It's a very progressive step.
Maybe the single most important part of that is that it has brought into a government program people that daily face up to business problems, realize what those problems are, realize the necessity to have a very fast and expeditious solution to training manpower problems.
We've found that some of the major problems in the training programs in the past have been that the program was not directed at the right occupations, or even if it were directed towards the right occupation, that it was technically not centered in where the job content should be.
We were never asked before what was needed. The training may have taken place, but we were not asked where the needs were, where we expected them to be.
The members of the private industry community know where the jobs are. They know what the obstacles are, and they know how to overcome them. By being given the opportunity through the Private Industry Council to identify those obstacles, they can more easily fit the training to the jobs.
There's no doubt about it. I am the one that knows our needs, our training needs, our, what skill level we need, the manpower requirement, what these people need to bring to us. So my involvement with the CEDA program and having the flexibility to help design that program has just been a tremendous, tremendous help for us.
I think that many of us perceived originally, erroneously, that we had to conform to a very stringent regulatory situation. And that is not true under the private initiative program. We have the way of making it very simple. We have great flexibility, and you can mold the program to suit the circumstances.
It's one of the interesting things about CEDA. It has a great deal of flexibility. If a company wants to go to them and say, look, I need 15 employees that can do this, that, and the other thing, they have the opportunity to sit down with the people and structure a training program very specifically for their own needs.
And here in Columbus, the PIC efforts are geared to our own labor needs, as you could expect. Columbus is a city, of course, which has a heavy population of state employees, and we have a large number of banks and a large number of insurance companies and considerable industry. So our PIC programs here have been aimed in those areas of need. We have an excellent set of programs at Starling and at Bellows School that relate directly to input employees in clerical jobs that would apply to almost all kind of industry, whether it be typing, whether it be accountants, whether it be bookkeepers. Okay. We have some very fine programs in the medical field for medical secretaries. So I think we have tried, the private industry has tried very hard to encourage the development of programs that fit their needs. So when the young people do come out of the training programs, there is employment opportunity for them.
The program in Columbus has been very successful, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's successful everywhere else. And I think the key to the whole thing is flexibility. The program has the flexibility internally to be able to succeed anywhere.
Milwaukee is very heavily involved in the foundry industry. I think there's 70 foundries in the greater Milwaukee area. And they've always had a problem in securing the skills and the quantities of employees that they needed. So we generated an interest in the foundry industry to get together collectively to help train people.
We use existing facilities to train. We have found there are a lot of excellent training facilities in the community, and we utilize their resources whenever possible. Because as businessmen, we don't want to reinvent the wheel. We don't want to put more sunk cost into the community. What we want to do is utilize what's available as economically as possible.
The actual training in Milwaukee has taken place in the Milwaukee Area Technical College and the Milwaukee School of Engineering. At the schools, we have the specialized equipment necessary to teach the different programs. For example, at both MSOE and MATC, there's a foundry lab where the people can actually make castings, work with patterns, work with sand, work with molten metal. In the foundry program, the person that's doing the instruction for molders and core makers is a long-term foundryman that's worked in this area most of his life. And so in that case, while he's now in a full-time teaching position, he had a background of full-time industry experience. The training was designed to stress the work ethic, attendance, reliability, because that is one of the main characteristics you need in order to run a business. You need people that are reliable.
As many of the original advocates of no involvement in a federal program have changed around now because they recognize what they've received. It's been an economic stimulus to Milwaukee. We have increased the number of skilled workers in Milwaukee, which has to be a stimulus economically to everybody.
The need of any business is to make money. And the key to that is not tying up management for things that are not directly business related.
All of industry has held back from joining in many of the programs initiated by the government. They were afraid of the paperwork.
And one of my fears was that it was going to be a big paper mill, and that I was almost have to hire a person full-time to handle just the paperwork that's going to be generated. But as I got into this one program, I found out, entirely different.
I think the one single thing that is causing an employer to come to a federal program to look for a solution to an employment need is looking around them and seeing other employers that have had successes.
Private industry employers in Las Vegas have been able to see results in a needs assessment, something that is reaching out to them for the first time in this entire community's existence to find out what they as an employer really need in terms of manpower and training. We find here with our convention and tourism industry, we have over 12 to 15 million tourists that come here in any one year. That generates a lot of automobile travel. And so the need for good automobile mechanics is great. And so they find great opportunities through the community college, through the training programs. Also, you find them in the catering area. Here, most of our hotels have dramatic catering demands placed upon their staffs. And we find through the community college and some of the other training programs that we hope will be developed to provide these people with greater abilities to service this industry. As a business person, the bottom line for me is well-trained, well-motivated, productive employees. That's my whole responsibility as a director of personnel.
As someone has indicated, you don't hire programs, you hire people. And there are many, many folks coming out of CEDA who are CEDA programs who are geared exactly to giving us the kind of performance that we want.
By the time someone comes to us from the CEDA program, they're an efficient employee already. They can do their job. They know what it is that they have to do and how to do it. We don't make money if we don't have good employees. How do you get good employees? Not everybody is trained to do the jobs that we need them to do. Well, if we have to spend a lot of time and money training employees, well, that impacts on the bottom line of our business.
Training cost itself is tremendous. You know, it's been said that it's about 200% of a person's salary over a period of six months. Small companies cannot afford that. It would just sink us, that we can't afford to train people.
If we can participate in an efficient federal program that will cut some of those training needs and provide us with good employees, then it makes good sense for us to do that. The program is flexible, it can be very efficient, and the key to that is the involvement of the business person. If it isn't being efficient or effective in a given area, my guess would be it's because the business person has not gotten involved. And there, frankly, isn't very much excuse for that, because this program makes a lot of sense to business. It can save a lot of costs, and it can provide them with good, enthusiastic, productive employees.
It takes what is a real problem and provides a real solution in the best possible way.
Employers are finally getting an opportunity to determine the best usage for their own tax dollars.
If you don't take advantage of it, you are cheating yourself.
It's our tax dollars. Let's do something with it as businessmen. Let's make it work.
This program works. It's good. It's good for our company. It's good for the economy. It's good for the country. It's a beautiful program.